Welcome to your demo under 20, talking about color and grayscale. This is very basic stuff that you want to know when you're creating your mosaics. And everyone should own a color wheel and a grayscale. They're very simple. You can get them at art stores. You can get them online. But if you're going to print them, you want to make sure you can print them so that they're really clear. So if you're at an art store or you have to order online, try and get both of them. I think they're huge tools that you should always have in your mosaic arsenal, storage, toolbox, whatever you want to call it. But really quickly, I'm not going to read off each of these points here, but we'll talk about them a little bit because basically, basically, everything you want to know about color when you are creating are on these two sides of this color wheel. And there's lots of different brands of color wheels out there. This one actually does have a grayscale across here, which is really good too, because that's why we're going to talk about values. And I'm going to show you a really easy way, if you don't know already, how to use your smartphone to check the values on your work and the colors you're using to create your mosaics. So first off, let's talk about the color wheel. And there are primary colors that are in the world, and these are them. They are the orange, the yellow, the red, the violet, blue, and green. Those are the primary colors. The secondaries are the ones that are mixed together in between them. So the yellow-green, the blue-green, the blue-violet. So when you are mixing your colors, you know this is what you're going to get. Here, it'll show you a few different kinds of colors you're going to get when you add certain things. Knowing the difference between your warm colors and your cool colors is really important as well. So like I said, it's a very basic thing to just know what your colors are when you're going to choose your palette, or when you start creating and you really love blue, what would happen if you added a little orange to it, or red to green? When you're working with these colors, we're going to talk a little bit about in a minute how using a tiny pop of a complementary color, that is this color to this color, the opposite colors are called complementary colors, or contrasting colors. But most of the time we say complementary, because you would see when I show you a couple pieces coming up soon how the use of a couple bits of red is going to make the green look so much greener, or a couple bits of orange is going to make the blue look so much more vibrant. And if you've never done this before in your work, it is a great way to understand just little tricks and hacks that can make your work just look so much better. And of course, we have a brilliant course here by Annabella Weber called Color Theory, if you really want to dive in and understand how color works. But I'm just giving you a very basic understanding, and these couple of tools you should really own. So that's the basics on color. So also with color, we have to know there's the color, the hue, the value, the intensity, a tint and a tone, shade, and your neutral gray. And again, I'm not going to read these off to you when you own your color wheel, or if you have one, go check it out and understand what the difference are in these words and what they mean. Now, value is really a big deal in mosaic art because we're not working with paints where you can really just like take a different color and layer it on top of another color. And if you work in stained glass, you do stand a chance of having an easier time sometimes of creating a gradation. And that's part of the value, is you're changing the value. You're going from light to dark. These are values. These are the grayscale values that you're trying to create. So here is a picture of Donna Van Hoosier's dog she did for our course, Color Freedom. But what I want to show you is how you can take your camera, and this one is done as an extra special tool that we put on a postcard. So you can see half the dog has the colors that she used, and the other half is just a black and white photo. And on my camera, the iPhone, I like to use mono. That's the closest one, and I'll show you on my phone in a second how to do this. But basically, you can see how she's nailed all the values. She went her darks, her mediums, and her lights. And she's following her photo, or her map, as she likes to call it. So this is just one example. So what I'm going to show you here this way is, here is a really simple choice. These are Gila Rayberg's tiles or Mexican smalty glass that she used in her course, Contemporary Portraiture with using smalty and piqué assiette. So she made a really simple dark, medium, and light map of the values she's going to use. Now, to make sure she had hit the right values, she did that. She took a black and white photo, and do you see how close that is to the grayscale that we were using just a minute ago? So you see this, remember this, and now go to that. So she went from her light to her dark values with her glass to make sure she had all the right ones. So then she could separate out her tessera and have a lot of these mediums together, have a lot of these dark mediums together, have the darks together. And she could just have a mixture of colors. This isn't all white. This has got a pink in it. This may have a little blue in it. You got your yellow and your orange and your green, but they're all the same value. And you know how you know that? Because of that. So the black and white camera or mono is what's going to help you the most. Now I'm going to show you a couple of pieces of art. This is from Emma. Emma is a first-time mosaic artist. She made this in Todos Santos at my Mosaic Art Retreat, and this is her first one she's ever made in her life of her cat. So love that, right? First time. It's not perfect, but for the first time, to me, it's pretty incredible. And now look at that. She nailed it. She has a little bit in here we could have worked a little bit harder on, but for the most part, she really got very, very close to nailing her values in making her cat of her first mosaic. I'll show you one more example. This is another student that went to Todos Santos. This is Julie Williams' piece. And this is a butternut squash that she did on a plate. And she wanted a still life, but she really wanted to create the values and the shading, the highlights, where the light was coming from, which we all know is this way, and how she created a little bit of shadow under it. All done with Mexican smalty. Again, creating that map of her dark, her medium darks, her lights, her darks, her medium darks, her mediums, and her lights. And she made a map of those pieces of glass, just like I showed you Gila did. And then we knew where to go as we followed her drawing or her image to create it. And then this is her black and white. So you can see how important it is to use the black and white photo when you're creating your art. So when we come back, I'm just going to show you a couple more pieces that talk about how you can enhance your work in color. Oh, wait, I have one more. I forgot. Hold on. I got one more great piece. This is Mary Driver's piece from Reflections in Stained Glass here at Mosaic Arts Online. Gorgeous piece, every piece cut perfectly with precision, getting the reflection of the boat in the water, light coming in from the top really gives it movement. But did she nail the values? That's really important when you're doing this work. There's so much going on and you really want to make sure you're following along and you're getting all the different techniques and tools that you know to use in your piece. Looks like she did. Pretty incredible. So here we are. We can see where her light is coming in and hitting the boat this way. And on this side here, it's a little lighter. And over here is darker. So those are the things you're going to think about. And use that phone to create your black and white photos so that as you're working, and you'll change things because you see that it's not quite working. Like I said, in Emma's piece, there were a few things we could have done differently. So when I come back, I'm just going to show you a couple more artists and how they use color to make their pieces pop even more. All right, we're back. Now, I am a lucky, lucky, lucky person. I own this piece by Cynthia Fisher of Big Bang Mosaics out of, I believe, Massachusetts area. This is one of my favorite pieces. I see it every morning when I wake up and make my coffee. Cynthia is brilliant at how she uses color. And I want you to look at this. And this is so intentional what she has done here. She has taken blue, obviously, as her main color. But the reason the blue looks so vibrant is the use of the warm, the use of the orange, the use of the opposite color. There's orange, there's blue. So when you go to your color wheel and you're like, hey, I love working with green, throw in a few pops of red and see what happens, or the other way around. But this piece is just one example. And now I'm going to bring in one other by the well-known, I'm going to have to widen out a little bit here because then I have one more thing to reveal to you guys. So as I widen out here, this is Kim Emerson. And this piece I also own and love so much. And this is, again, the same idea where it's all the turquoise and some copper, a little bit of warm, a little bit of gold, but bam, just a little bit of orange up here that makes the whole thing just come alive so much more with that use of a little bit of color. Now, I wish I had time to have showed you guys like more and more works like this, but instead what I've done is I've made a couple piles here of Mexican Smalty of just what I said before, doing the complementary colors. So we have the blue and the orange and the red and the green here. Now, do you see the difference between these two piles right here? Come on over here, where they're just, yeah, they're cool. It's a beautiful color. It's a beautiful color. But bam, do you see the difference of how just giving it that little pop of the complementary color can change everything? So when you go to work now and you start creating, you're making your palette, you're starting to work, there's two things I want you to think about. I want you to take black and white photos of your work so you really see where your values are. Get yourself a color wheel and a grayscale if you don't already own one. And if it's appropriate, you don't have to. Both the ones I just showed you, Cynthia's and Kim's, those are abstracts. So adding the adding the little bit of orange into their compositions works. If it's something like Mary Driver's, she did do green and red for her boat. So there's that. But if it's not right to add that little bit of color, you don't have to. But just keep working that you learn your values, you learn your colors. And again, if you really want to dive deeper, I can't recommend enough Annabella Weber's Color Theory. And also her gradations course is great too. That's an even lighter version of color theory, of learning about how to gradate your colors, which is a whole other conversation. But hopefully you guys learned something in this demo under 20. Go dive in and make some great mosaics.